I want to get to our next guest. Are we breaking? No, we're not. We're going straight to our next guest. We'll have a little break from the idea about drinking. We'll talk about more after 9 o'clock with myself and Steve Lillis. But, of course, the big sporting event of this weekend, along with the return of football in Scotland, is the fight between Amir Khan and Zeb Judah. Who better to tell us what might happen in that fight? We're joined, and I'm honoured once again to be joined by Amir Khan's legendary trainer, the great Freddie Roach. Good evening, Freddie.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good indeed. What about you? How excited are you now that the fight is nearly here?
We're really getting close. We have to weigh in about an hour, and then just maintaining right now, and Amir's 100% ready for this fight.
What kind of shape is Amir in?
He's in the best shape of his life. We had a 10-week training camp in L.A. We had a great training camp. We had great sparring sessions, and I think he's the best he can be.
Hi, Freddie. It's Steve Lillis. How are you again?
I'm fine.
This week, Amir, you've been bogged down again this year with more accusations from the Mayweather camp of steroid taking. Has that been unsettling?
You know, Mayweather they just want to cause controversy, of course, trying to get us out of our game plan. So forth. We just ignore their statements because, you know, we know we train hard for every fight, and you know, they could be even a lawsuit against them because there's defamation of character type stuff. They say stuff with no proof. They accusing somebody of something that they've never came close to not passing a drug test. So, you know, it's just Mayweather's being Mayweather's, but we're after Zeb Judah right now, and that's where our main thoughts are, and our main concern is Zeb Judah at this point.
I mean, it was overshadowing the fight a bit, but you said there, I mean, you got Manny Pacquiao suing Floyd Mayweather for steroid claims, and are you saying that Amir Khan might see his lawyer about this?
Yeah, you know, after the fight, I'm going to talk to his lawyer, and we're going to see, you know, because this stuff is ridiculous, and the thing is, maybe Pacquiao has a strong case against him, and Amir could have the same if he wishes to pursue it, but that'll be up to Amir after the fight. But right now, we're just concentrating on Zeb Judah, and that's the biggest problem right now in front of us is Zeb Judah, not Mayweather's accusations.
Freddie, tell us something about Zeb Judah. What kind of a fighter is he, and what kind of a fight can we expect between himself and Amir?
Well, he's very good boxer with power in his left hand. He's southpaw and left-handed, and he does have speed and power, and he's a dangerous fighter. I think he's the best fighter we've fought to date. And but Amir's 100% ready. We have a great game plan in store for him, and I think we'll knock him out before the 12th round.
I mean, Judah's been a professional for around 15 years, Freddie, so you've seen plenty of him. What do you do in sparring to combat that southpaw left uppercut that he throws? And it's accounted for a lot of people.
Well, you know, we had a lot of southpaw sparring partners, and we had a couple that fight very similar to Zeb Judah. Muki Paneros was the main guy, and he fights very similar to Zeb. And when he rolls that shoulder and then he comes back with the uppercut, we were going to get on the handle and just take that strike completely away from him, and you know, because he does throw that shot really hard, and but we recognize when he's setting that shot up, and we know what to do with it when it happens.
Amir's looked a lot more relaxed than he did before, I think, with the McCloskey fight. Is a lot of that to do with Alex Ariza being back in the camp?
I think that has a lot to do with it, of course. You know, we all know each other really well. We work very well together. And with nothing against the new guys last time, but it's very awkward to get used to somebody else coming in, you know, and trying to do what Alex did. And Alex knows Amir well, and vice versa. So it worked out really well that Alex is back, and we had a great training camp, and he worked really, really hard for this one. And I think, you know, one thing we didn't have to fly around. I didn't drag him all over the world. We stayed in L.A. the whole 10 weeks, and we were very settled, and again, we had great sparring, and we had, I think, the best training camp we've ever had.
Freddie, obviously those of us who followed Amir since his days as an Olympic amateur, he was a boy then. When you see him being interviewed now, indeed when I spoke to him myself before the David Haye and Klitschko fight here on TalkSport, it's clear now that he's a grown-up, mature man. How important for boxers is it, and for Amir Khan, that he clearly is an adult now, whereas he was, an excitable teenager before?
Yeah, he's grown up as a young man now. He's much more settled in. The thing is, the big thing is that he's not going in there too over anxious, and he's using his head a lot more and setting things up a lot better. And he's much more a complete fighter now. We've got him settled down a lot, but he still has that fire in him, and he's still a very exciting fighter. So that's something that's just in his blood, and something I'll never take away from him. But the thing is, he's the best listener that I do have, and he knows the game plan very, very well, and he will follow it to a T.
Danny made the point there about Amir becoming a lot more mature. It seems that since he's joined you, and obviously you've got a lot to do with that, Freddie, is also being away from everybody and living in Los Angeles by himself and having to fend for himself.
Yeah, the thing is, my job is pretty much done right now because all the training's done and so forth, and that 1 minute in between rounds is what I can do is settle him down and get him, just keep him on track, of course. But
the line was always a bit dodgy, to be absolutely fair. I think we should probably leave it there because Freddie was struggling to make himself heard there along that terrible line. But it's always great to hear from the great man who, despite his health problems, when you listen to what he's saying, he brings absolute clarity to the business of boxing. Let me ask you a question about Stephen. We'll talk more about it in the next hour. With bookmakers in this country, Amir Khan is 7-1 on. I don't think that's a fair reflection of the closeness of this fight.
It's not. I'm not sure what he is with the on the boards in Las Vegas.
It won't be 7-1 on.
Maybe when you have one. I'm sure you have one of the lads from Vegas on tomorrow. One of the shows they can ask him then. It's not a 7-1 on shot. I think it's a fight he'll win, but it's a much harder fight than what people are making out. We know Zeb Judah's been around. He's only 33, but he seems to have been around for decades. He's been around, I think he's in his third decade of boxing now, professionally. But he is still a dangerous opponent, and for 6 rounds, Amir Khan has got to be very, very careful tomorrow night. I mean,
we'll get into this more. We're going to continue our discussion about drink and football after the 9 o'clock news, because so many of you want to get involved. But we'll also be talking about the cricket, which I know you're very interested in, and about the fights. And there's lots of boxing news that we need to get into. Just one more thing about when I talk about Amir Khan, when I spoke to him myself, as say in the run-up to the David Hayes recent fight, he is so good. I mean, obviously we had that one terrible defeat, and it was, shocking, and all the rest of it. But we're in danger of underrating this fellow in this country now. It's like, because he's going to live in America, he's a bit out of sight, out of mind. We're very lucky to have Amir Khan, aren't we?
He's a very, very good world champion. I'm not going to go that high and say he is something special. He is going to be an all-time great. He's a very, very good world champion. He's a very likeable fella. And a point you picked up, I could pick up on a point you said there, Danny, about what you said to Freddie Roach when you said about the maturity.
Oh, he's just changed as a person. He's changed so much.
You just have to go to his press conferences. Before there'd be this guy turning up in these Reebok tracksuits that just look like they come off the market over the road there. Now he's turning up in Hugo Boss suits, shirts. He realises...
He'll be allowed in rugby union soon, won't he? He's so posh, yeah.
He'll be allowed in the pavilion at Lord's with his egg and bacon tie, yeah. No, but he turns up in his Hugo Boss suits. He realises this ambassadorial role he's got. He is a role model to a hell of a lot of the youth in this country, and he's something they should all look up to. It's exciting to have him around. Whether he's going to be an all-time great, I don't know, but he's a very good world champion. Well,
we'll know more after Saturday night. Remember that Amir is the WBA World Super Lightweight champ. Zeb Judah currently is the IBF Light-Welterweight champion. The two of them getting it on this weekend. The fight will be screened live on primetime pay-per-view. That's Channel 480 on Sky or Virgin On Demand. It's about 15 quid for the fight, and to order you can call 0871 200 4444. Of course, go to the primetimelive.co.uk website. So